This is Fixing Famous People, the podcast where two reality television producers pitch solutions to save celebrities in dire straits.
But first, let's get to the Pre-Fixe, your weekly pop culture roundup.
I'm truly struggling with what is supposed to be the lead story in the 7 days since we last broadcast. Should it be Taylor Swift's new album?
It is, yeah.
Should it be Sean P. Diddy Combs being sentenced to 4 years in prison?
I don't want it to be that.
Should it be Christopher DeRosa being one of the first people on our planet to see Jennifer Lynn Lopez in Clit of the Spider-Woman?
That is a contender.
You know what? Why don't we start with Spider Clit? Because I think that's a new information for our listeners.
Yes.
So you went to a screening of Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
We went
to say this is hotly anticipated by this podcast would be an understatement.
An understatement. At a certain point, Rebecca and I were like, we might not get in. Like, what are we going to do? And we got there. Rebecca especially got there super early to make sure we were going to get in, and because the theater was not big.
Was it a PGA screening, a Producers Guild?
Yeah, it
screening?
Sure was at the Regal, but in the Regal Cinema of Union Square. When was the last time you were at that theater?
Oh, I've never seen one there. The last time I went to Union Square at all, they had just installed those HD 4D, the 4D.
Kill me.
Yeah.
Literally just take me out back. Like, kill me.
Where you're like spraying water on you and moving you around. I'm like, this is like watching a movie on a plane. I don't like it. Never again.
I was just looking up to go to see the Wizard of Oz at the Sphere when I'm at BravoCon. And I'm like, do I want smoke to be blasted into my face when we're in the tornado? Like, I don't know if I do. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I don't mind telling you that my family and I will be there for Thanksgiving again this year. And those Wizard of Oz tickets were purchased months ago.
Yeah, sure. So you'll be able to, if we don't end up going, you'll be able to report back on it. Okay,
absolutely.
Good.
My family actually, I guess because I wasn't sure if I was going to Thanksgiving or not, they didn't even wait. They were just like, well, if you're going to attend on the day we already have tickets for, you'll have to buy your own ticket.
That'll be great for you.
I was like, you didn't even get me a safety seat for your fucking coats? Jesus. They also needed an answer about Thanksgiving April 4th. Sure. Please.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay.
Spider Clip.
Anyway, sorry, we're blabbing on. I loved it. I thought it was a great movie. Now, here are the things that I must say to you. Diego Luna, hot, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Caliente. Caliente is right. Ding dong. Can still get, if you know what I mean.
I remember thinking that when he headlined that one-off Star Wars movie a couple of years ago, and I was like, this guy's going to be a giant star after this.
Yeah.
But then he's still, I know he's a giant star in many other places other than the United States.
Yeah, but no,
this was bigger here.
This was good to get the foot in the door again. You know what I mean? For him.
Why just the foot? Let's take the whole.
Sure.
What comes in the door first, Diego?
Yeah,
lead with it.
Ding dong. This newcomer. Ding dong. This newcomer that's been in some things, but is not a household name that this person will be afterwards. Tiana 2, I believe, is his name.
It's Tiana 2, or it might be Tina Tua.
Yes. Dominick, A Star Is Born, destroys this role.
That's
does so good. Should get Oscar buzz for this. Loved it. Laughing, crying, everything in between with this character. Destroys.
That Molina's the role. That's the role that William Hurt won the Best Actor Oscar for in the 80s when he played it.
A Star Is Born is all I'm going to say.
And Brent Carver won the Tony for playing it on Broadway, actually, the role you saw in the musical. That's great.
A Star Is Born. And then we have our girl. Now.
JLL.
JLL.
The only thing that I need, because I'm sure she's great enough. I know she's not giving us the musical version of Cate Blanchett and Tar. I obviously
No. The part that she plays is not this
right.
She's not stealing the show every scene. She just not what the part is at all. And for what the part is, she did great. She looks.
I'd love to hear that. Will she
better
get nominated?
than ever. I don't know. Maybe. But again, is the role worth being nominated for? It's not even that she didn't do good enough or
right.
She did great. Is she wearing enough makeup to put down an elephant in every scene? Yes. But is that what she's supposed to look like in the movie? Yes. is Atlas's wiggist shaking at the wigs that are happening. The wig work that she's doing in this film.
I love good wig work.
The wiggist better be nominated for an Oscar is all I'm going to say to you.
I wish that they changed the Oscar for best hair and makeup to just best wiggist,
which isn't a word. If you anywhere other than this podcast, that's not a word, but it is for us.
Best face beating and wiggery. The nominees are.
Should we do that for the Fixies this year?
We should. We
best
should have
face beating and wiggery.
We should absolutely have that.
Writing it down. Writing it down.
I know we should have that.
Writing it down.
By the way, what I told my friend Michael that you had seen it. And that you had imparted to me that it was doubtful she'd get nominated for an Academy Award. And then Michael posed to me the next logical question that I didn't even think of. And I bet the answer is going to be a yes. Will she get nominated for a Golden Globe?
Yes, and she will win it and should.
Just like Madonna for Evita. Just
and
like
should.
that.
She was great in it. She said, I mean, the songs aren't like challenging. But like, she sounded great. She was dancing up a kickball change.
I love the score.
The kickball change we didn't get with Life of a Showgirl, we got in Clit of the Spider-Woman, is what I'm telling you. Okay.
I saw the Broadway musical 3 times, which is rare for me because it's very expensive. I loved it. I saw it with Cheetah and I saw it with Vanessa L. Williams. I loved it. Loved it.
And there were some of the numbers I was like, you tried to do Chicago again and it didn't really work. Like there were parts of it that didn't work. But again, not J-Lo's fault at all. But like, she did great. She looked more beautiful than ever. And know that like she has her little scenes and then you go back to these 2 people that are truly being tortured in a prison in Argentina. And that's what the movie's actually about.
Right. You'd never know it from the campaign.
ever in your life. Ever in your life. That, and it's about like this like political activist that's being tortured to try to get like information to overthrow the like anarchist movement that's going up against a dictatorship. That's what the movie's actually about.
Right.
That part of it was so good.
But the movie's being marketed as though Jennifer Lopez is playing in a fantasy of if Selena had lived. And that's the story she's telling. Like, Kiss of the Spider-Woman is about South American prisons where people get tortured.
To murder you. How many days have you had that ready to go?
I swear to you, it's been 15 seconds. It just dawned on me like instantly when you finally realized that this was not Schmigadoon that you were watching. This musical is like, it's not Schindler's List, the musical, but it's
kind of Schindler's List.
It's pretty dark. It's not happy-go-lucky at all.
Oh,
there's not an ounce of it in the campaign for this movie.
No,
people
but also like
literally think they're going to see Made in Manhattan on ice, and people, listeners, look at me. It's not that. That is not Kiss of the Spider.
No. You watch one of them shit their own pants because they're being poisoned with prison food. That's what happens in this movie, and so like.
I could just see.
And
I already know
had lived, I'm never gonna get past
it. Can we just talk briefly about the dress that she wore to the premiere the other night? Go ahead.
Was it the ugliest thing that has ever been made ever? Period. Yes. Did I love it? Also, yes.
It looked like she was on a roller coaster that broke and like she was wandering away from the wreckage and this was the piece that was still attached to her. Yeah. It was a strange choice, but we're fucking talking about it, which was the point.
Obsessed with it. And she looked so good. And you know who looked so not good? That fucking piece of shit.
Benjamin Lynn Lopez. That's right. He did not look good. He did not look good last night at all.
At all. And he's like begging to have her back. And she's like, and just flitting away, which she should do. I'm on her side in every single way.
But that's the thing. She would look good in anything. That's the truth. Because I was staring at this rather hideous thing.
As my mom would say, a trash bag. Yeah.
And she's still, whoever does her makeup always does a good job because you know she's beat. I mean, she's 55 years old. Sure. You know that there's an inch of color on her face. You can't tell. You can't tell she's wearing makeup
she looks great
at all. She looks
She's beautiful.
Great.
There's a shot, one of her first shots of her is a shot of just her legs and her little piggies out there, and they look great. I was like, what is this foot porn? Who shot this? Quentin Tarantino? And I was like, meanwhile, I was like, even just her legs, I was like, her legs are beautiful.
So it's a solid. You would recommend.
You should go.
FFP is recommending.
You should see it. My official endorsement is yes. You should go see it. I loved it. It was a good movie.
I will agree.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then there's a talk back with like the director and then like the one guy that owned the right, like his husband had written the music or something, and all the people that were kind of like the producers that made it happen. And at one point they were talking about, because they shot it in as much to my dismay, they did not shoot it in Hoboken. I kept watching it being like, when's like Dino and Harry's, the steakhouse around the corner from me that everyone shoots in, gonna be
not in this. Not while people are pooping themselves in prison. We're not going to see Dino.
I was like, when's this? Like, when am I going to see like some restaurant that I go to all the time? And in reality, they were shooting it on a soundstage. All of the like musical parts were on a soundstage in nearby Hoboken. She actually shot a different movie in Hoboken, similar time frame. But
that's the Made in Manhattan on
That's
Ice.
the Made in Manhattan on Ice that you remember. I was saying she could be 500 feet from me right now and we would never know. But they were talking about that there was at one point during one of the dance scenes on the soundstage, there was an earthquake in New Jersey. And do you remember when there was like an earthquake in Manhattan in New Jersey? Remember? This was like years ago now. And there was actually an earthquake, and Rebecca leans over to me and she goes, "Tectonic shifts." And I literally almost
one of our favorite phrases,
cackled out loud. And like, as they're doing this very serious talk back about the film and how it was like very important for them to do like X, Y, and Z. And I almost like ruined the entire thing because Rebecca said that J-Lo performing in this movie caused tectonic shifts.
I'll never forget that earthquake. I was sitting in my bedroom doing some work and I felt it. And I screamed to my roommate, "We just had an earthquake." And she said, "No, we didn't. You're just stoned." 5 minutes later, all the phones go off. I'm like, can two things be true at once, dude? Can they? We did have an earthquake. All right. Well, we've spent quite a bit of time on this. We've been looking forward to it. I'm glad one of us got to see it. I'm going to do my best to see it this weekend. But we'll move on to the other big stories of the week. I guess the biggest really is that Taylor Louise Swift has released her latest opus. Do you know she's released like 5 albums in the past 4 years or something like that? Like regular albums and the revisits. Like she isn't taking a very long break.
No, she said that when she would be like in her off time at the Eras Tour, that's when she was going into the studio to do all of this. And I was like, can you just like sit on a couch?
Well, as predicted, it's the number one, it was the number one thing to ever be on Spotify. It's the number one thing in the world. She's Jesus. We get it. It's fine. I'm not even making fun. I'm not a Swiftie. Good for her. She's an absolute superstar. I will say, objectively, the reviews were middling for this album. Yeah.
Even some hardcore fans that we know were turning on her a little bit, which was sad to see,
Don't turn on her, but look, she's an artist. You just need to know that this, by the way, it is not uncommon for an artist to build their career on one thing. And then when their life changes, their artistry changes and people are like, "I don't like it." You may not like Happy Taylor. I bet some of these people will be praying for him to dump her so they can go back to the old "Revenge is a Bitch" or whatever the other stuff she sings is. I'm paraphrasing. Please don't come with torches. She's just not my thing.
What I will say is that there was a lot of lead up, if we're going to talk about it in the confines of this show, there was so much lead up with the countdowns and the how many vinyls were pre-ordered and the how many of this, and like you can get this limited edition version of this thing, and then there's a movie where she just talks to you about making it, and then there's to quote something I saw on Instagram that was originally attributed to Beyonce, which is this is also true for her. They said the one thing this woman will always do is going to be ask you for money. And I feel that that's kind of a little bit of this is that it was built up so much of being with the Flapper Cabaret photo shoot that was all over everything. And then and it was a lot of build up for then the album.
Coupled with her personal life too. That's the thing. It's like this coming out like a few weeks after the engagement just heightens it all. And there's all these questions about like, Graham Norton edited out a segment when Jodie Turner-Smith was asking Taylor when she was going to have babies or some shit like that. And they were like, no, that's too personal. Let's take it out. And like, it just like, she had to address either on Jimmy Fallon or on Instagram, people saying that, being with Travis has now ruined her career artistically and that she didn't do the Super Bowl because he might participate in it. And she keeps like shooting all of these things down. But I mean, it was a frenzy between the engagement and this album. I just want to say the word frenzy 10 more times because it's one of my favorites. Frenzy. That's it. But it feels like it's peaked. Like I already feel like we're in the denouement, as it were.
Yeah. Because Dominic, did someone give you a thesaurus recently? What's happening?
A French one. I feels like the hubbub is over.
And we were in Dominic.
You released another album, then great.
Not to quote you, but you were like, this might be like, from what they're saying, like this is going to be this album that like brings her, like everyone is going to listen to this album and it'd be like the biggest thing. And it's like, when I listened to it, I was like, this isn't that much of a departure from the regular, And again, I'm not like up in her music like that at all, and like don't claim to be. But it was like, I was like, yeah, this is Taylor Swift's music. Like, sure.
All right, moving right along. We'll spend very little time on this because you already know that Sean P. Diddy Combs got sentenced to 4 years behind bars. It's much longer from what they wanted and much less than what he could have gotten 20.
And what he deserves.
They're squawking. He apologized for all his shit. And they're trying to get a pardon. Obviously.
Yeah.
Because why? Marjorie Taylor Greene, this fucking pillar of the community comes forward and her reaction is, I don't understand how George Santos got longer than Diddy.
I can't.
Marjorie, this is George Santos is the hill you want to die on, girl.
And like, what is it? Yeah. Like for what? They came up together in like craziness. You know what I mean? Like she was kind of on the scene when he was on the scene and he got the book thrown at him. And she's like,
when we say to you, it's obvious that you don't have any gay friends. The one you pick is George Santos. Like, what are you doing? We've seen his makeup, Marjorie. He's not going to help you in that.
No, it's not. That's not helping.
Come on.
Dear
At least go for Aaron Schock, that disgraced one who decorated his office.
Goodbye.
Downton Abbey. That's the gay you want to be friends with.
Get the Senate twink. Remember the guy that got banged out in the Senate? Get him.
Fucked in the room. My God.
He knows what he's doing.
Speaking of Georgina Santos, so fucking Tiger King Joe Exotic gives a podcast interview where he goes on and on about George Santos, saying that George Santos being in solitary confinement for more than 30 days is cruel and unusual and blah, blah, blah. And then as I tweeted the group chat today, George Santos, who I know is not running his own Twitter account, it's being run by a family member, issues a hello to his fans and a thank you to Joe Exotic on Twitter. Just could you slide that box of soap over here for one? I need 30 seconds up here. I need 30 seconds.
Go. Hold on. Let me pick it up.
All day I've been champing.
Okay, now we're doing like shadow box improv together virtually. Okay, go ahead. Here we go. There, I dropped it at your feet.
Thank you. Let me climb up here. I need my stool. Joe Exotic appearing on a podcast, the jailhouse interview, quote unquote, has always been an issue for me. Like, you're not supposed to be able to communicate with anyone outside. I truly don't even think you should be talking to the press unless we're like really trying to learn from you about your crimes before you're executed by the government. Other than that, not having contact with people, not being able to tell people that you're okay, not being able to thank people. It's part of the fucking punishment. That's what happens. I know the prison system needs reform. I do believe that prisoners should be treated humanely. And yes, I do think 30 days in solitary confinement is absolutely
100%
cruel and unusual, particularly for white collar crimes. It seems like there is a better place to put him. However, I take issue with George Santos having a Twitter account, even by proxy. Like, if Marge wants to go off, that's fine. George Santos shouldn't be tweeting to people that he's fine and thank you and all this shit. And Joe Exotic shouldn't be doing any interviews. You're in jail. Communicating with outsiders is the privilege. You don't get the privilege. It's always been weird to me. Always.
And like, again, Joe Exotic is the person that you're like, thank you, my champion. Joe Exotic.
We're just letting that slide.
Charlatan of epic, like,
who also wants to pardon.
Gripped the nation by how fucking lunatic he is.
I love, this is some sort of like a new version of Suicide Squad. Like, you want to talk about anti-heroes. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene
Avengers.
is in charge of the Pardon Avengers with fucking P. Diddy, Georgina Santos, Ghislaine Maxwell, and who's the other one? We just
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. Jesus H. Jesus F, rather, for Francesca. These are the new Avengers. Marjorie Taylor Greene leading the halls of injustice with all of these fucking queens that need pardoning. And by the way, what a diverse group of people asking for pardon these days.
I know.
Black hip hop stars, white faggots, and then mulleted weirdos who try to murder people. I love it. That's the one place where we have good DEI in this country.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the one place where we have DEI left. People who want pardons from Donald Trump. Okay, you can have this back now. I don't need it anymore.
Okay.
The soap smells beautiful, though. Is that Gain in there? Love Gain.
Wait, Dominic, I wasn't even going to bring this up. Speaking of Gain, when I tell, okay, this is out of nowhere. I had to go to fucking Walgreens today because I'm still sick and drinking Pedialyte like I'm a child that has like the chicken pox. And I am in line to check out and I look to my left. And when I tell you that there are Gain like pods to put in your washing machine, and it is a collaboration with Wicked. I was like,
no.
What on earth?
I mean, that's kind of brilliant, though.
Does Gain laundry detergent have anything to do with Wicked for Good? Nothing. A whole aisle of it.
That has my respect.
No,
that should be on the same aisle as Selena Gomez Oreos, which you haven't eaten yet, by the way, right?
No,
to be clear.
No, I don't have access to any.
I like that the Wicked collabs are finding you. They don't.
Yeah, no.
I'm not seeing any Wicked collabs in the Bronx. I got to be honest. No one. I see none of that.
When I tell you that truly, like, there was 16 different things in just one Walgreens that were Wicked collaboration. And I was like, it's even for me who is like lining up to see it the second that I can. I was like, what is the point of Gain laundry detergent having a collaboration with Wicked for Good? What is the point of this?
I don't know. I think they're trying to appeal to
every human being on the earth
who does laundry. So who would that be? Like young theater going children, like or
me. It is technically me, mothers and myself.
I mean, I love a Gain pod. I just love.
I love doing laundry.
Oh,
can we talk about that?
I hate doing laundry.
Chores, a chore that I have to do, laundry, love it.
My worst. I hate doing laundry. Very specifically, I hate putting pillows in pillowcases.
Dominic, it's my joy.
Oh,
remaking the bed and knowing that you have clean sheets is like, there's nothing better. There's nothing better in the world.
I loved clean sheets. So don't get me wrong, but the act of making a bed, worst thing. My roommate and I had this discussion. I'm mentally ill. I sleep most nights. This is a true story, listeners. No matter where I go, on top of the covers, because I don't want to make a bed in the morning. I sleep windows open, fully nude on top of the covers every chance that I get.
Dominic.
I swear to you.
This is
last night it got a little windy. It was
never said to me.
Is it really?
Yes.
I still like
covers on top of you?
No. A buffo, a flagrante, just me, spread eagle in a king-size bed. Al fresco.
This is the most concerning thing you've ever said to me.
I can't believe you didn't know that. Well, because we've never slept in the same room before.
We've never slept in the same room before. And I plan to keep it that way. And now that I know this information.
When I do have to sleep like with a friend in the same room, I will slide under the covers and wear a light covering.
Sure.
You know, like a lower negligee, which I think other people call underwear.
Underwear.
Sure. Yeah. I like a lower negligee.
Okay, what the fuck are we talking about? We need to move on. It's like 30 minutes into the show and we're like,
all right, let's just, we have to talk about Nicole and Meg Ryan / Keith.
Yes, we do.
So apparently he's a little bit of a whore. He is like, according to reports, he's like fucking some some musician in his band.
Of course
I believe she's a guitarist.
Of course he is. Duh. Hello.
And this is, God, forgive me, Lord. Forgive me, Cher, for saying this. But it's just, when you're a mistress or an accused mistress, you have to show up with your A game at all times. Like once you're if you're the woman that took a man from a wife, even if it's just the perception, you got to show up. And man, when Nicole Kidman's the wife, that's a lot of work.
It's a tall order.
And that's not just for women too. It's for men that do the same way. If you're the replacement, you got to show up. You got to look hot to keep assholes like us quiet. This woman didn't do that. We're now firmly into Meg Ryan. How could you do this to Nicole Kidman? That's where we are.
The memes are incredible of like making fun of him. Like the one, it was like Keith Urban steps out without Nicole for the first time. And it was just a picture of Lisa Rinna.
Lee Radziwill was the one who tweeted that. Genius. That was the best one.
Oh, God.
How many people in the listenership of this podcast sent us by DM the articles with the hair straighteners about Keith Urban and Nicole, from the Onion? It was like
9 million. 9 million. Someone like replied to it and said, my hair straightener fell to its knees whenever I heard the news. And then the one that was like Keith Urban when Nicole's doing her 16th movie of the year. And it's just a guy with long hair, like doing a middle part and like doing cute faces in the mirror.
Not a center part. Not a center part.
So good. It's so good.
All right. While we're laughing, let's move on to another J-Lo adjacent story. Mariah is promoting her album, which we haven't spent a lot of time on. It's actually cute. I have listened to it. It's not her greatest work, but she also doesn't release one every 18 months. So I'll take what I can get from her.
She also doesn't believe in time or walk. So
nope, she doesn't. But she did show up, I guess, on time to a Watch What Happens live taping.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Cohen asked her, can you believe how viral you saying 20 years ago when someone asked you about Jennifer Lopez, you said, I don't know her. Can you believe we're still talking about it? And they laughed about it. And Andy said something along the lines of like, well, you do know her now, right? And she was basically like, no, I can't just automatically know somebody. Like she's taking the cuntiness of this situation all the way to her pine box. But she knows we're asking, do you like, she won't even admit that she knows who Jennifer Lopez is.
No, but it's not even, no, that's not true. That's not what it is.
She is tongue-in-cheeking her way through this.
Yes.
Like,
but she's like,
have they ever had croissants together? No. But she knows who Jennifer Lopez is.
She knows who she is, but she doesn't know her. Like, I know who lots of people are. Do I mean that I know them personally? No, I think she's saying like, yes, haha, it's funny. But she's like, no, like, I don't know her. Like, we're not friends. And like in her memoir, she talks about the fact that the reason that they had such a rivalry was because Tommy Mottola was like giving J-Lo songs that Mariah had written. Like there was a thing that like J-Lo's come up was like Mariah's leftover stuff that then they were siphoning to J-Lo. And I'm sure that I'm saying it 100% wrong, but there was a thing that like caused this. And it was that like they were trying to prop up J-Lo's career with like stuff that Mariah had like wanted to do or she had passed on or something. Like her scraps then went to J-Lo and then J-Lo kind of like got a career out of like.
I understand that.
Does that make sense?
They're vocal equals, so I understand that.
No,
put your torches in the garage, Gary. Don't come to my house.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like things that there was in her memoir. She explains why there was a feud, and it's like very valid. And it's not J-Lo's fault, and it's not Mariah's fault. It's like everyone else's
the people
fault in the industry.
The shitty people of show business.
Yeah, she's like, that's not like my fucking friend. Like, I wanted to do all the shit, and then they gave it to her.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of Andy Cohen, since we're just hopping from familiar face to familiar face, Howard Stern's deal at Sirius has not been signed yet, but he will be appearing on Andy Cohen's morning show, I believe this week, to discuss the progress of that. Andy Cohen just always finds himself in the middle, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's a very talented producer. I know it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. He's just part of every news story.
Wait, but wasn't the whole thing that that was that hoax that he was going to take over but then what happened?
Right. And then Andy came in and guest hosted for like 10 minutes as a joke, but the deal is still going on. So now Howard is sitting down for an interview. When Andy,
I get it.
On the day that Howard was supposed to come back, Andy just pretended that they gave him Howard's job.
No, I know that, but then wasn't then Howard continued his show, but he's just doing an interview separately.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think
I was thinking it was like business as usual. But again, when was the last time I listened to Howard Stern?
If I'm wrong, I don't know. I'll have to ask my dad. He listens every day still religiously on speaker. That's another conversation.
Sure.
All right, Sherry Shepard, who's on our podcast every week now. She's becoming one of the 10 that we talk about. She's also putting herself in the news. Last week, she told us that she had served 8 days in jail from believing that a rapture was coming several years ago. So she had $100,000 or $10,000 worth. She's ridiculous. But while still trying to prove that the earth is flat, Sherry did say that SNL has a fucking emergency and they need to hire a black woman if they've let Ego Wodum go. And honestly, as we said in the group chat, like it might seem like an overreaction, but it's one we actually agree with. Like, we didn't mention that explicitly when we spoke about her leaving, but it was sort of implied as well. Like, you know, she's not Ego wasn't just there because she was black, but her not being there and Punky Johnson being released a few years prior to that, it is sort of like, you know, we're back where we started from. So they should fix it. And I believe they will fix it, actually.
And like, the longer he lives, the more stories I hear about Lauren, and they're not great. Is all I'm going to say. Like, so I'm like, ooh.
Speaking of SNL, did you happen to watch Baboni on this week?
Only a few clips, but obviously you know that I watched the whole K-pop Demon Hunters skit. That was incredible.
Yes. That was a nice surprise for people. Yeah. And also the first time I'm actually seeing them. I mean, I've seen them on Netflix. I have not sat down to watch it yet. It's another thing I'll try to do before the end of the year.
You're going to love it.
I'm sure.
And it was technically the first live performance of the songs, which was very fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I really did spend most of the time when I was watching it marveling over how attractive Bad Bunny is.
Yeah,
like, I can't.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen pictures of who he was when he started his career?
No, that's what I was just...
insane what he looked like.
He got like way hotter, is what I'm saying to you.
Like a different person. Like, he wasn't... When Bad Bunny first Bad Bunnied himself into society, he did not look the way that he looks now. He had a whole different look. And someone must have just sat him down and said, you've already got this naturally, just do it. And
they did the Celine Renee conversation where he was like, I need to fix your whole face. And she was like, do whatever you got to do. And then we have who we have now, period.
He had like overly capped teeth, no facial hair, like a blonde crew cut. It was like
also a weird,
crazy.
I feel like he has a different facial shape now.
He might. Whatever it does, whatever he did, it worked.
He is so hot.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, it was very funny. I was laughing at that skit. I only watched a few of them on YouTube, but mainly the K-pop Demon Hunters one. But no, it was funny.
The amount of backlash, the TikToks and all this shit about Bad Bunny and like,
who cares?
Not speaking Spanish and all this stuff. Do you I'm fine with I'm not fine with political differences because they turn violent so often. But this is one in which the people complaining, you just look fucking stupid. Like, I'm embarrassed for all of us when I see the TikToks about why does it have to be in Spanish? And yes, most of them have a Southern accent. So save your torches for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, good Lord. Do you not know Puerto Rico's part of the United States? They don't. Dominic. Well, how much time I think Linda McMahon, as the head of the Department of Education, this should be the first thing that she should tackle. While she's dismantling it, please let everyone know that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Very weird.
Anyway.
Jane Goodall passed away this week, from bad news to worse.
Wait, and did you see that she did this interview? And I bet you they have more of these. I was like titillated by this.
Oh, they've got at least a dozen more. It's a fantastic idea.
Incredible idea. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Netflix released after her death this final interview that's called like their final words, isn't it?
Their last words or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's her sitting down with an interviewer in this like weird, scary, like black box, like set. And they just like talked to, I haven't watched it yet, but I saw a couple clips and they just like talked to her about like what she thinks her legacy is and like what she thinks of the world now.
It's chilling.
It's chilling. And the whole beginning is like, she did this interview knowing that it would be released right after her death. And she knew that it could be like shelved for 10 years, maybe if she like lived for how long or like however long that she lived. Like she knows that this is only going to come out after she has died. I'm champing.
Yeah, we want to know who else is on the list.
The bit who else has done this, and they're never going to tell us.
Yeah. I mean, did OJ do one? Is that going to be a New Year's surprise? That's what I want.
He's dead.
That's what I want. I want that now that they've opened the door with Jane Goodall. I want them to be like, we have a Christmas surprise for you. OJ admitted to everything. And
yeah, that interview that got scrubbed from the internet. Well, there's a new one.
I would love that. Moving right along. Here is a story that has not gotten as much press as I thought it would, though there's a lot happening this week with Taylor and Diddy taking over the roles. The Hollywood Reporter headline, One Direction stars Louis Tomlinson and Zayn Malik have reunited for a Netflix road trip series. I mean, it was just a few short years ago, hearing about anyone from One Direction doing something would have they would have made a government coin about it. But they've been out of the spotlight for too long. The other member, the non-Harry Styles member, he passed away last year, right? So this is...
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I'm still going to watch. I was sort of mildly fascinated with them. There were 5.
There's 5 of them. The 5th one just like chilling.
So if you're not Harry Styles, the deceased one, or the 2 on Netflix, where is he? He's working at that Chick-fil-A in Temecula.
With who is there?
Wait, Shelley Miscavige.
Shelley and someone else. You brought someone else there too. I can't remember.
That's where they all go. They're hoping to be rediscovered.
The Chick-fil-A in Temecula is also like a. Although I fucking hate Chick-fil-A, the Chick-fil-A in Temecula is like a Photoshop gold mine. But
it should be. But please don't eat a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I mean, Zayn, by the way, Harry Styles included, Zayn was always the hottest person in One Direction.
1,000,000%.
I just would watch whatever. If he wants to read the phone book, we'll do that on Netflix.
And he's the one that left. He's the one that left the group and like broke up One Direction. So it's interesting that he's now coming back with the Louis, right? Yeah.
It is Louis, yeah.
Again, I know their faces, names, I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, one's Harry Styles now and has risen to the cream of the crop, and then the others have kind of just...
When are we going to hear from Harry again?
I think he's chilling. I think he's just like, I did it. He's like taking his time and like writing a new album. I mean, like that album was big, so he's probably just like waiting to like be inspired to do enough. He has so much money. He doesn't need to do it.
Maybe he also is hiding from people because he did win Album of the Year over Beyonce's Renaissance. And I think they probably put him in witness protection. And he only emerged when he was running the Berlin Marathon last year. That was the first. I mean, that's how low it got, is that he had to move to Germany. I don't believe it was his first choice.
And then go to that one wedding that Carol Radswell was at. Did you see those?
Is that
pictures?
The one that Olivia Wilde went to and wore that like Little House on the Prairie number?
So. I think so.
That's why he broke up with her. That dress alone was like, what on earth?
But no, he's
you
like
bag
chilling.
Harry Styles and you start dressing like Laura Ingalls' mother, Olivia. That's how we should have fixed her. We should have just sent her to Rachel Zoe.
Speaking of, I'm chomping at the bit to see Rachel Zoe in Beverly Hills.
Can't wait.
The
promos have come out. She looks.
I know.
She looks perfect for it.
Yeah,
she looks perfect for it.
Anyway,
so listen. Coming up on the a la carte for you Patreonettes and you Apple subscribers, we're going to talk about what famous reality star and hero has come out as non-binary. We're going to tell you about the Duchess of Schmuckers attending her first fashion show in Paris and looking wonderful and weird at the same time. And then the very same day, causing an international uproar by what people are interpreting as her urinating on Princess Diana's grave. I think these people are exaggerating. I think she was just trying to take a selfie. We'll give you more on the a la carte. And also, while on the a la carte, there were 2 articles that caught my eye recently that Chris and I will be breaking down and giving you our opinions. One is, what is the most annoying character ever on television? And the other one is, where Chris and I live will take the poll, the viewer poll, for People's Sexiest Man Alive 2026. Chris didn't even know this was coming.
I don't know this is coming.
Wait till some of the people they've nominated, baby, who are they? They're trying to appeal to the blind here. I apologize for that, but like, we're talking about people that just aren't sexy at all. I don't care about their personalities.
This is a Clinteractive. How do I say this? A Clinteractive a la carte. And I can already tell you that it's going to be a rip and roar in time because I know if I have to click through a thing of celebrities live, it's going to be funny.
Before we leave today, a couple of weeks ago, we fixed Katy Perry. We did do a Clistener vote for it. But over the past few weeks, the show's been international, so we're just catching up now. Christopher, please reveal who won the fix for Katy Perry from several weeks ago.
With 39% of the vote, our winner is our guest, Sarah Wendell.
Sarah Wendell. Because we applaud for our enemies.
However,
she's not an enemy. Is that her second win here or first?
This is her first win. So congratulations to her.
Let me ask this question to you blindly.
Okay.
Did you watch Gilmore Girls?
No, like I've seen episodes, but no, not like Rebecca Bregman is like a super fan, but I did not.
It's been everywhere this week because A, it's the 25th anniversary, and B, they've given Lauren Graham a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and a lot of the cast showed up for it. I feel like I'm going to start watching Gilmore Girls. Is that a weird thing to say?
Should I do that too? Just to see what's up.
Should we do a what? Because like there are people that are so gaga
people
over it, and
love it. There's people that love it. Truly, it's their favorite show. They drink coffee while they watch it because they would always drink coffee together.
Like Melissa McCarthy's in it, and I've never seen it. I've seen everything else.
Maybe we're both watching. Maybe we're both watching.
All right, we might have a watch along with Gilmore Girls. Does the entire series take place in the fall? That's like the thing, right? It's like always autumn in Gilmoreville.
Which
That's
I'm ready.
The town, right? Gilmoreville.
I need that in my life right now.
Well, we're deep in it, even though we're having a stretch of 80-degree days here that my tank tops are like, I told you so, bitch. I can't with you. I cannot. I literally cannot. Whenever you talk about the weather, all I picture is you at the pool in Provincetown wearing 3 shawls and like a sombrero, basically, to keep the sun out of your eyes.
Yes.
And you have the perfect you have the perfect skin as a result. I'm just saying it is. I just like the warm weather.
But yeah. Anyway.
All right, well, we love you all, and we're fixing Courtney Love today. This is a real fun one. Lot to work with. See you in a bit after these vital messages.
Okay, we have a friend, a business owner. Hello. An entrepreneur. Maybe you've heard of that term, listeners. Our friend Julia Washington is back. Thank you for being here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me again.
Too long. Yes, too long. That's my fault. Too long.
It's okay. I just lurk on your guys' Instas and I'm like, look at my friends being beautiful and fabulous.
Oh. I'm pretty sure the listeners have heard the term entrepreneur before. Yeah, that's why I can't stop laughing.
Heard of it?
Have you heard
this exclusive verbiage
called entrepreneur
business ownership?
Yeah.
Well, we are here, of course, today to fix someone. And sometimes when there's a fix, we're not really, we are trying to fix, but we're also trying to uplift. Mm-hmm. I feel this week's subject is like 50% of both, because we have not discussed this prior. I love this person. I've always been enamored of Courtney Love, to be honest with you. And by enamored, maybe I mean fascinated, maybe in a car crash way, or maybe in when she's got the occasional album that's an absolute banger. I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot, like she was a musician before we knew who she was, right? Before she was like the problem child. We are speaking of Courtney Love, and we are about to play the middle name game, where I will ask Chris DeRosa and Julie Washington if they can guess the middle name of Courtney Love. Here are the facts. Courtney Love. What?
Dominic, I know her middle name.
Oh no!
I am an obsessed fan of Courtney Love.
Kudos for your honesty. So Chris is playing this game solo. Chris is playing solo.
I'm so sorry, week. Chris. Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. It's
fine. So now you don't even, now there's no competition. The competition is you. Which
with
is
myself.
Always
which is the worst.
Much more stressful.
I know.
Courtney Love, born Courtney Harrison on July 9th, 1964. Like you, she is a Cancer. Unlike you, she is 61 years of age. What is Courtney Harrison Love's middle name? This is gettable, by the way. It's a gettable name.
Renee.
Michelle.
Fuck. Oh, I was never going to guess Michelle. Never was
you
going to
weren't?
guess Michelle. No.
I sort of the same wheelhouse of like...
Of Renee.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are both 70s-ish names to me for some reason.
Yeah.
Lisa, Michelle,
You would
Renee,
think that her middle name would be...
Honestly, Courtney, like similar, right?
Yeah,
Courtney, I think Courtney in 1961 feels a little ahead of its time to me.
Yeah,
although Courtney Cox is
right.
around the same age. I don't know. It feels like a more modern name, but yeah, Courtney Michelle Harrison, also known as Courtney Rodriguez. I don't know why. Courtney Menley. I don't know why. Courtney Love Cobain. I do know why.
Was she marrying all these people before?
I don't see any of these things. Kurt Cobain was her first husband, and then she married James Moreland in 1989, and it was annulled the same year. I don't know where Rodriguez or Menley come. Maybe they're professional names. I have no idea.
Interesting. Strange.
What I didn't know was that Wikipedia describes her childhood as itinerant, which is a fantastic word.
Wow.
But she
That's
lived,
an SAT word if I've ever heard one. Yeah.
Right? She was primarily raised in Portland, Oregon, but she also spent some time living in Dublin and Liverpool before returning to the United States in her early 20s to pursue an acting career. And it seems as though the first credit that we have for her is for a supporting role in the cult favorite Sid and Nancy, the 1986 film, which is hilarious given the many Sid and Nancy comparisons with her and Kurt Cobain. So with her appearing in that movie is sort of hilarious, question mark quotes. I don't know, but it's just weird.
Aspirational. Maybe she felt it was aspirational when she was young.
Maybe. I don't know. What I will tell you is that I did not know who Courtney Love was until I knew she was Kurt Cobain's wife. And then I really did not. I really had not heard of her.
Julia's
mouth
is agape in shock.
Floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally on the floor.
Yeah.
I really had not heard of her before then. I also don't know that my college music taste would be considered like eccentric. I was very very, very Whitney and very
Madonna.
It takes two to make a thing go right sort of in college.
Yeah,
that was
sure.
Versus Hole, which is like very Riot Girl, very much like
right. Now, when grunge was becoming popular, I was in college. I will say that I was a resistor. I held on to Hootie and the Blowfish with my last fingernail until I had to start wearing plaid vests to the party. Like I had to.
Last fingernail.
Last finger, kicking and screaming.
No.
Two Princes. I mean, can I get a Two Princes up in here? Like this is that was my whole college era. Anyway, that's my journey with her. And I remember distinctly not liking her. I don't even know why until I saw The People versus Larry Flint. And I was like, oh, she's good. Like she's talented. And it was at that point that I realized, I was told that her initial aspiration was to be an actress. And in that movie, for me, it was definitely apparent. Like she played Althea in that movie and she was great. To my knowledge, did not get an Oscar nomination for supporting, but absolutely should have for that movie. And
that's the one she got a Golden Globe for, right?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Is it weird that I don't even know about her acting?
Really?
No, not given, given your age, because she hasn't acted a lot recently. Like she did. Fair. She was in all of her marquee acting stuff was sort of when I was your age or younger. People versus Larry Flint. Mm-hmm. She was in that movie about Andy Kaufman, right? Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey. Mm-hmm. She got good notices for that. Yeah, but then I've known much more for her colorful personal life, I think, than that part of her career.
She, as a millennial, I know everyone hates when I say that, but as a millennial, I feel like she's in the Madonna box of as everyone knows that listens to the bonus episodes, that I was truly replaying the scene from Game of Thrones where she has to walk through the streets naked and people throw things at her and they ring the shame bell at her, where I was like, Madonna's name is Madonna, what? And then I'm crucified live on the pod. But where we found her was kind of over and I was too young. I was listening to NSYNC Britney Spears. I wasn't listening to whole.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? That was like adult music. You know what I mean? And so that was kind of, I was too late for that. And then she starts throwing the compact at Madonna and, you know, the usual, like what what we'll get into, you know, of like all that. And it was like, kind of like, I missed the part where she was doing her music and her acting, where she was clearly good.
There was a huge gap of time between Celebrity Skin and I'm trying to remember the next album after that. I can't remember the name because by that point I was into
it was upsetting.
Girly pop shit. Yeah.
It was upsetting.
And it was upsetting because in 2004, she was on The View and she was like, I don't understand why my behavior impacts the future of my child. And I had just had a child.
Everyone was like, what?
And it was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, unfortunately, we live in a society where our behavior as women is, you know, impacts the future of our children. Like, I understand. I understand why you're mad. Like, you're allowed to be upset by this, but also like, sorry, your kid's going to be...
Yeah, you're the main role model for your own child. Like, correct? No, yes.
Yeah. So I know
that
there was
seems sort of like the earth is round kind of argument, which disturbs me, you know? I mean, like, so sure.
Yeah. Right.
Or like,
especially
don't leave your kid in a hot car sort of moment.
And especially because you're the only parent for your child at this point.
Sure.
And two, you've had several instances where Child Protective Services has shown up to be like, maybe you're not a safe parent for your kid. Like that was a huge part of her early 2000s life. So I know there's a huge gap of time. Like my freshest memory is like I stood in line at the warehouse to buy Celebrity Skin. And then I could not tell you when the next album was released after that because she took a huge gap. But I know there's albums after that.
So she's acting and in all these movies, and then she's like, I'm going to be a singer now. And are people like, what? Or is it like, makes sense that she's going to be a singer? Like, is this influenced by her husband, Kurt Cobain? Like, what's going on?
No, because it was before. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, her dad was somehow affiliated with the Grateful Dead.
Got it.
So music's like been a part of her. Like her parents are very hippy dippy. So it's interesting to me that she has sort of quote normal names like Courtney and Michelle. You would think that she would be like
like Sapphire, Rose, Rosebud,
or whatever. Yeah, Rainbow.
Not Moonbeam. Summer Moon, obviously.
Yeah. So like she definitely had a tumultuous childhood. Like I don't know if you guys have seen the Kurt and Courtney documentary that came out
Was it good?
Maybe also 1998. Well, when I saw it in 2000,
last year. I was like last year. Yeah.
Could use a little update because it was, you know, produced by the BBC and it was kind of like contraband. I remember it being very hard to find anywhere. And then a friend of mine was like, girl, I got you.
Yeah,
I have a bootleg copy.
Yeah, let me get on the black market really quick and then let me clack the keys on Napster and it'll be there in a minute. Yeah.
And they interview her dad and, you know, 25 years ago, it was just like, okay, like whatever, like, oh my gosh, like Courtney's such a troubled child and all these things. But then to watch it again, because I rewatched it in preparation for our conversation, to rewatch it now is like, oh, I think your dad did something to you.
Well, no,
like,
also,
I think this man is a terrible person. There's rumors that he gave her drugs as a child. I don't know if they're substantiated, but like, it is very clear from this documentary and the way that he's talking and her behavior with other people, something happened. Well, whether or not she wanted to deal with it, I don't know.
And also, like, it makes all the sense of her being like, wait, I have to be a role model for my child. Because if you're saying her parents are like deadheads that like brought her to Deadhead concerts and are like doing nitrous like for no reason and like leaving her to play with herself in like a mud pile while they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like just what I'm picturing is her being like a dirty kid rolling around in the grass while her parents are like on drugs at a Grateful Dead
like they think it's funny. Like, give the 6-year-old a little bit of LSD because they think it's funny. Like that's the kind of vibe I got. Which is horrifying.
Yeah.
She definitely seems like a person.
It's not a great...
Her youth just isn't like she was just going to be famous no matter what. And so if you're asking, like, she was bopping back and forth between acting and music all through her young adulthood. And then at the end of 1988, she taught herself how to play guitar, relocated to Los Angeles. And apparently, if the lore is correct, she placed an ad in a local music magazine in the late 80s saying that she wanted to start a band and that her influences were Big Black, Sonic Youth, and Fleetwood Mac. And by the end of 1989, they formed Hole, and that was the first iteration of Hole. Hole formed, depending on what story you believe about where Kurt and Courtney met, which is anywhere between 89 and the end of 90. Hole was already formed and performing, and had already released their debut single. Trigger alert language. The debut single is called "Retard Girl." Mm-hmm. Hi, welcome to Fixing Famous People. It certainly is.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Okay. Okay.
Would
sing if I knew it. But
yeah, don't have the lyrics at the ready on it. I must say.
Don't actually say it. Actually, Kurt and Courtney, they couldn't find a concrete. Like, everyone had a different story about how Kurt and Courtney met that they interviewed,
which is very. That's I don't like that. How do you not know? Like, there's. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I get the sense that maybe she also, based on this documentary and this documentary only, I got the sense that she's a private person, but she likes to fuck with you.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Like, documentarian sort of like cornered her at there's some luncheon for the Golden Globes or whatever. And he's like, oh my gosh, it's amazing that you've been nominated. That's so great. But like, also I heard you playing a song about California. And she's like, I'm sorry, you heard us rehearsing? Why would you hear us? Like, she got like, it was like a switch, just like, you're coming near me and I didn't know it and I don't like it kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And it was right before Celebrity Skin was released, because they do have a song called Malibu on that album. I think it's the most popular single on that album. But it was very interesting to see like a 1998 version of Courtney Love, just kind of like the aftermath of like, what is her career? Raising her kid, people still being like, you're the one who killed Kurt. There's no way he could have done that on his own kind of vibe still. Versus now, when you watch interviews in the 2000s and the later 2000s, where it is a little bit more, I don't want to say understanding. That's not quite the word, because we still weren't very evolved about women, right?
Sure. We're still not today. So.
We're still not today. But the tone, there is a tonal shift when people are talking to her. But it is really interesting how private she is, but then also will be very in your face. It's like, look at what I'm willing to give you because I don't want you to dig deeper.
Yeah, which is a protection thing, I feel like. And especially then, how long are they together before Kurt dies?
2 years, not even.
It's 2 years.
God.
And they only get married because they find out she's pregnant. And there's rumors, there's rumors that she has, does heroin while she's pregnant, knowingly. That's not substantiated either, right? Like, it's a rumor. It is a quick 2 years.
And then he dies. It's like international news, obviously, right? Like, it's like the biggest thing in the whole world.
Tectonic.
Like,
that was the biggest story of that year.
Like, one of the biggest rock stars alive is dead early and from drug use, right? Didn't he kill or suicide?
Death by suicide with a shotgun.
He shot himself. Yeah.
God, I forgot about that.
I remember Courtney I don't know if she spoke at a vigil or if she just released an audio statement, and she was absolutely hysterical. And I just distinctly remember people booing her right off the bat. Like, right off the bat, people were blaming her exclusively for Kurt's death. And I think that sort of formed a permanent opinion about her for most people. Like, even if you didn't know who she was, or you didn't know that, she shouldn't have been assigned the blame for someone taking their own life, to know that millions of people were doing that. It's almost like if you didn't know Courtney Love, this was now what you knew about her, was that the quote unquote world thought she was an accomplice to murder.
Because she was giving him drugs, or just like because we hate women? Like,
all of it.
Both. Obviously, I know it's both, but like, what is the people were like, you're the reason he's a drug addict? Like, he was like suicidal. What's the
he had mental health problems his whole life. Like, he suffered from depression his entire life. There was even a private investigator whose mission it was to prove that Courtney did it. Got to the point where he was like, I'm very close, but Courtney got I don't know, whatever legal jargon thing to make him stop.
Yeah, like an injunction.
Yeah. And I don't know when he dropped his crusade, but that was his crusade for at least 5 years, because they interviewed him in the doc.
So fucked up.
He's like, I have hard evidence. I don't understand why other people don't believe that it's her fault. And you're just like, okay. But also, I think Live Through This released the same week he died. Her album with Hole.
To the internet.
Uh-oh.
And like, if I remember correctly, I was 10.
This is like your loose change, basically. Do you remember that movie?
So they were married in February of 92. Frances Bean was born in August of 92.
Mm-hmm.
And in April of 94 was when Kurt took his life in Seattle. At the time that he took his life in Seattle, Courtney Love was in rehab in Los Angeles. So any sort of like physical connection to her having pulled the trigger should have gone away immediately.
On the bed and was like, have fun and walked in close to the door.
There are legitimately still people that do not believe that. I mean, there are like, she was literally states away at the time he died. And I'm trying to see when Live Through This. I know that Live Through This was recorded in October of 93. Live Through This was released 1 week after Kurt Cobain's death.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, no wonder she went off the fucking, you know what I mean? No wonder she had no hope. Everyone's blaming you for the worst thing that's ever happened to you, which is your husband's death by suicide, as he's one of the biggest rock stars in the world.
Right.
And the whole world is talking about it. And then there's a federal private investigator, federal agent, question mark?
Private investigator. Nobody hired him.
Let me correct myself. Some fucking loser coming after you being like, I have all this proof that she's the reason that he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Horrific.
And the truth is, it wouldn't have mattered because Kurt Cobain was like a once in a generation. Like he was like a father and brother for so many millions of kids. Like he, as the father of grunge, and grunge being like the voice of an actual end of century malaised generation. Like he could have been married to Jesus Christ and people would have found fault with it. It's sort of like a Beyonce moment. Like, I don't like Jay-Z just because he's married to Beyonce. He's never done anything to me personally. I just know he's not good enough for her. Just like anyone would think no one's good enough for Kurt Cobain. Like these, when you're an icon of this level, no one's going to respect the partner. It's just not what we do culturally. Like we just don't.
And especially at this time where the woman is also doing music and is their own artist and isn't just like his wife that's doting and like whatever. She's
at
like
all.
also,
no.
You know what I mean?
She's edgy.
Yeah, and like doing her own thing and like having a career in her own right.
And, but also kind of on different fundamental belief systems as well, because Kurt is very much like, you know, that era of like, we're making money, but also no, we're not going to like be flashy about it. And then she would buy a Mercedes and he'd be like, this is embarrassing. Why would you do that?
And she's like, because I'm a hot bitch. Like,
I've made money. I would like to be in a comfortable car. Like, I get it. I'm like, I get both sides of that. Right. So like they're having these clashes already anyway. So it's like, really, if he hadn't taken his own life, how much longer would this have lasted anyway?
Mm-hmm. And like, it's very Gen X. I mean, I feel like Nirvana and like that
Gen
time
X
is very Gen X, and it's like what Gen X, like right, like that is like a core principle of Gen X kind of culture at the time, especially grunge.
Was don't sell out.
You know, don't sell out. Reality bites, all that. You know, the most stereotypical Gen X movie
until we turned like every generation before and after us. Yes, absolutely. Now it's just
But like, do you know what I mean? It was a bit like at the time that was like the big movement was like anti-establishment. Like, no, like you're not, you're supposed to just do the art for the art, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, hello, Mercedes dealership. I would like a white Mercedes, please. Like deliver to my house. And
like there's an interview with Kurt where he's like, I'm sorry, how much are concert tickets? And the interviewer's like $35. And he's like, that is insane. That is greed.
Too much. As in too much.
Yes, like that is insane. That is greed. Like, how dare you charge?
What is his spirit thinking now? He's probably infuriated.
He'd be like, you guys. But so there's that fundamental difference between the two of them as well. I mean, it's like, is this a situation where you just mostly bonded over doing drugs and having sex? Like, would this have lasted beyond whatever it is that you were doing in 1993?
Yeah. No, I don't think they'd be together today, right?
I don't think so. Remember when she dated Edward Norton?
Yes.
I barely, honestly.
There's absolutely no way they'd be together today. There's no way.
No way. No, none.
But they'd be tabloid. They would have been tabloid fodder, like hardcore. Like they would have had a name, and then their breakup would have been all over the place. It would have been very J-Lo, Ben Affleck. It would have been very Brangelina-esque, right?
I think maybe it would have been like a little more Madonna, Sean Penn, where it's like we would have hounded them for 2 years.
Yeah.
But now when you think of them, it's almost like, if he hadn't died, we'd associate them together as much as we associate Madonna and Sean now, which is
right.
Barely. I mean,
barely.
There are now generations of people who are probably like,
who's Sean Penn?
Like literally, who's Sean Penn? I mean, honestly, that's
actually.
But people will know. It's sort of like a Marilyn Monroe moment. It's like where his death sort of accelerated
his fame,
his place, his place in history for sure.
Yeah, he's the 27.
Well, not that he doesn't deserve it. Not that he doesn't. The music is definitely iconic, but it's. I don't know how famous he would have been had that not happened.
Okay, so you brought up Frances Bean. I love following her on Instagram. I find so much joy in the way that she posts. I don't know why.
Okay.
What's interesting is there's no mention. Mother's Day never mentions once about her mother, always references her paternal grandmother and aunt who essentially ended up raising her for the most part. She did a beautiful tribute to her dad at the 30-year anniversary of his passing because Michael Stipe is her godfather. So she had these photos that he had taken of her, and so she did this. If you want to cry, if you are a person who was like, I love Nirvana, I love Hole, and you want to cry, go find that post. It's beautiful. But it's interesting because for a while, Courtney was like, how dare Dave Grohl keep all the Nirvana money? My mother-in-law and sister-in-law are living in squalor. But when Frances turned 18, she inherited everything from her father's estate. Make it make sense, Courtney. I don't understand what's happening. Did they grow up in squalor or did they have... it's just the way she accuses Dave Grohl for being sort of money hungry and keeping all the Nirvana fame and fortune for himself. But at the same time, when Frances turned 18, she inherited her father's portion and never has to work again the rest of her life if she doesn't want to.
Yeah, sure. Interesting.
Well, tough one in 2025. But now that Dave Grohl, I can safely say, is known as a shady bitch now. So I don't know. I don't know who you trust in this situation. Whose story would be straight. But,
exactly. I mean, when she first accused him. Yeah, when she first accused him, you're like, I don't know. I don't know about this.
Would love to, but obviously would love to get into the financials as you know.
This isn't a pitch.
Spreadsheet. Yeah,
it's not a pitch for a fix, but an adjacent fix, putting those two in a room together to sort of talk everything out. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
About how everything went down and what her relationship was like with the band after Kurt died and the financial stuff. Sure, that would be a very interesting multi-part Netflix moment.
Do you think, because she's supposedly writing a memoir, do you think that she'll give us all of the dirt? Because she loves to talk shit.
I hope so.
I'm not getting energy from her that this is I'm going to come clean about everything, because I believe if she came clean about everything, she's
implicating herself.
Yeah, it would be very Laverne Cox saying, I dated a MAGA cop for 3 years and now half the community's like, we're done with Laverne Cox. I feel like half of Courtney's fans will be like, oh, you did leave Frances in a hot car? Yeah, I think we're probably done. To preserve her own legacy, I think there's a limit to what she can say. And in her defense, I guess, quote unquote, she had an addiction problem for a very,
very long time.
And she's been public about it. And, when it takes over your life, your behavior becomes something it wouldn't be without the addiction, but it doesn't mean people are forgiving about it.
Tale as old as time. A beautiful starlet gets addicted to drugs at the behest of the industry and then falls from grace.
Well, I'm not. Let's not put Courtney Love and Judy Garland at the same table.
No, sure.
I was like, I think her addiction problem started before she had fame.
Well, with her parents giving her LSD, as we've alleged on this podcast, which is allegedly, by the way, not.
I had to lose 30 pounds to be in the hole. It was an emergency.
Yeah, also not for nothing, it's then everyone being like, you stupid murderous bitch, when the love of her life dies.
Right. There's an interview.
What else do you want for her to run to the bottle / pill bottle / drug, drug den?
Needle.
Needle.
There's
not needle.
One of the guys that they interview in Kurt and Courtney looks straight into the camera. It's the guy she dates right before she gets with Courtney.
Yes. Do you still have the bootleg of this? Because
guess what? It's available on Amazon Prime for $1.99.
Amazing. Okay, great. I need to watch this now. This is incredible.
It's kind of crazy to watch it in the 2025 lens because you're just like, oh, this guy who's doing the interviewing is kind of a little shit. But anyway,
this might need to be this might need to be a bonus episode that we do, 3 of us. Actually, we might need to do. We could do that. I'll let Truth or Dare. We might need to rewatch this and have our thoughts. Go ahead.
We can do that.
I will watch it again because
I know you will.
It turns out I have a lot of that shit memorized because I'm watching it again and it's like, oh, I knew that. Yeah, okay. He's gonna say this next. Like, what was wrong with me in 2000?
Wait. So the guy looks into the camera and says.
The guy looks into the camera and says, he's basically like, fuck you, Courtney, talking shit about me. My career is ruined because of you. I'm convinced I'd be the one that was dead if I hadn't dumped you. You want to talk shit about me? You want to ruin my life? You want to drag me because I was a better musician and da 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 da. And
you said this
boyfriend she had prior to Kurt. And he's just like, how dare you threaten me and da 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 da, and how dare you talk about me in the news like this? And you're just like, what happened? Because I'm watching the documentary 2 years after it was released, right? So I'm like, and we didn't have Google in 2000. No. I'm like, I should have Googled it now to be like, what happened? But
we will on our bonus episode. Don't worry. We're going to find out this man's been dead for like 20 years.
We'll fill in all the blanks.
Yeah. Right? But it's intense. Like, he's with sincerity. Like, he does not care.
Like, hates her. Yeah.
Yes. Like, you put them in a room, one is coming out, anybody's guess which one.
Oh, God. I really don't like that.
Right. Like, he's probably living this whole, like, I could have been a rock star. Cause the documentary paints him as like, he's this up and coming. He was incredible.
And then she ruined him by like not being his cocksucker for like, right. I'm sure.
Right.
Not being a supportive girlfriend, but instead wanting to be an artist in her own right. How dare she? Right.
No, Christopher. She was too supportive. She wanted to manage him too much.
Bye. I want to kill him.
Like, everyone needs to pick a lane on Courtney. Like, she can't be the worst thing in the world, / you know what I mean? Like, she's not the reason everything is a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Are there any other big things we need to tackle before I give my thing of like resurfacing things that she's done recently that are like, wow, she was the whistleblower of them all.
There is this second half of her public face has been good. Like that, it's a large part of why we're not here to like condemn. Like there's a lot of like talent and ferocity here, if you will, that she can build on. And by the way, like I almost wish for her sake that she hadn't married Kurt because it overshadowed everything so much. Because the truth is, like, especially when it comes to female-based rock music, they are a seminal act. Yeah, like they are revered like in the annals of rock and roll, particularly for women. Like they were no joke. Some of their work is stronger than others, but they're largely considered positive influence in rock and roll.
I mean, Live Through This is an incredible album. I listened to that. When I did, I wasn't allowed to listen to it when it first released because religion. But then once I was able to sort of like get my hands on a Discman and headphones, it was definitely the soundtrack of like 7th grade for me. And then when Celebrity Skin came out, I re-listened to it once we sort of had this conversation about like, come on and talk about Courtney Love. It's like, I'm going to queue up Celebrity Skin because it's been a minute. And I was like, this album's so good. Like it's still to this day, very good.
Yeah. And that's so sad because then she gets swept up in all this other stuff and like obviously drug abuse. But like, it's sad because it's like all that overshadows.
Yeah.
In theory, she's like a boundary breaker. You know what I mean? Like in theory, like, right? Correct?
Sure.
Yeah, that's sad.
But she'll never get credit for that because she quote unquote killed Kurt Cobain.
Because she's a murderer. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, because
plus all the other Riot Girls hate her.
Yeah. Like, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, recently, as in like this year, I'm sure both of you have seen this on Instagram, is like people pulling up old interviews of her from like the early 2000s. And they're saying they're on the red carpet with her. And they're like, if you would tell young girls wanting to get into Hollywood today, what would you tell them? And she says, don't go into a hotel room with Harvey Weinstein.
Yep. I remember when those were happening lifetime.
And you know what I mean? And like, she's like, if Harvey Weinstein tells you to go into a hotel room, don't do it. And like looks directly into the camera and is like, wink, like I'm serious. And it's like, oh, she was saying it back when, you know what I mean? And
how
God
long
only
ago
knows.
was that? Was that before Me Too?
Oh, yeah. No, it's old.
This is like 25 years ago.
This is old.
Wow.
Simply from the looks alone, you can tell. And the camera quality, you can tell that it's like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like when Ashley Judd is like not getting in Lord of the Rings because of that. You know what I mean? Like this is the time when like people's careers are ending because they're like not trying to fuck Harvey Weinstein. And she's like going up to on a red carpet and saying it right to and doesn't give a fuck. And she laughs and looks away and is like, yep, that's what I'd say. Like, sorry, that's, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that are like justice for Courtney Love because she's been telling us the truth the whole time.
And she's always going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I feel like she was always going to tell the truth. Like she was never going to be the girl. Like for all her quote faults, she was always still going to be like a girl's girl in that way.
Well, she said recently on a podcast, the only morsel we're getting from her this year, she appeared on a podcast and said that she has a friend with benefits for quote unquote romantic crap. Okay. But she doesn't reveal who that person is. Sexually, she said she's a libertine. She doesn't understand jealousy. And she doesn't really talk about her partner too much because there's jealousy surrounding that person from other people that person's with. But that she does see someone sort of casually, basically to get laid.
Okay, I love that for her.
Good for her. Yeah. Sometimes you just like, people are always like, just, you know, batteries rechargeable, it's great. And I'm like, sometimes you just need the weight of a person.
Yeah, you do.
Like, stop saying, like, some people have needs. Courtney has needs, let her fulfill them.
Also, how do you start a relationship with a 61-year-old Courtney Love? Like there's more baggage than person there if you're starting a relationship with someone. That's why I'm not jokingly when everyone's like, why don't you date people your own age? I'm like, because it's because they weigh too much emotionally.
Too complicated.
I'm bitter enough for the both of us. So I'd rather corrupt someone in their late 20s, early 30s than try to match the bitterness of someone my own age. Jesus Christ.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, Dominic.
It's the truth. Can you imagine though? Like what the person that's willingly going to say, I'm going to start dating Courtney Love. Your life then you just become Courtney Love's. You become a boil on her butt. After that, you're nothing. You're not going to be anything else. It would have to be like,
not a boy
who could date Courtney Love? Al Pacino could date Courtney Love. That's someone who could date her.
No, she's like 70 years too old for him. Didn't he just have a baby?
Right. Now, do you want to talk about someone who only dates childbearing age? Good Lord. Yeah. He is a 2-year-old, right?
Dates children, barely adult. Yeah. Anywho, I mean, are we here?
I think we're here.
Do we know that she's writing a memoir? Is that in the works? Or it's like rumored or what?
Let's find out.
Now I don't remember if it's a rumor.
She has said once, like, I'm writing a memoir, and it's like, yeah, it's a Google Doc somewhere that like lives.
I thought there was, and again, I could be, what is my memory? It's mush. The world is a dumpster fire.
You've been giving us quotes from this documentary that you pulled up from Napster. So like, I will say I feel very good about your memoir.
Because I feel like there was an official announcement about the memoir, like a Publishers Weekly situation, but maybe I'm mistaken. But I remember thinking, oh, I'll be first in line to read that book. I hope she tells us everything about her fight with Kim Gordon and Kathleen Hanna. She
wrote one that's called Dirty Blonde.
Right. That was a while. That was like 20 years ago, right? That one?
Yeah, which 2006, yes.
So there's an update this year on NME.com, which an article that came out in March that said Courtney Love shares a promising update on new album and memoir. Love, this is my... At the time of our recording this, it is 2025. And the headline says, Love says she's been working on the new record since 2009. So it's a slow burn with this next batch of tunes.
I mean, I'm seeing at page 6, 2022, Courtney Love announced that she's finished her memoir after a decade of writing. So that's a couple years ago, and it's still not.
Maybe that's what I'm remembering too, because I've since unfollowed page 6, but in 2022, I was glued to page 6.
But that's okay. So that we at least know is like
in March, Courtney Love said that the new memoir would be out by Christmas of this year via HarperCollins. Feels like we would have known about it already if it was coming out.
That's around the corner, is it not?
You know what I'll do when I get to work? I will look in the system to see if I can pre-order it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes bookstores can like open it, get.
Yeah, it's just like we don't even know anything about it. But it's like, like untitled Courtney Love memoir. Yeah.
Okay. Like with Careless People, we did not know what that was. It was just blank and like like it was like nothing. It was just like nothing in the system. Do you want copies? And we're like, do we want copies?
And then it's like you found out it was like the whistleblower memoir of the decade.
Much, right. And it was very much like wink, wink, you want copies. So like
there's nothing on Amazon, by the way, in case you're wondering. There's nothing on Amazon.
Dominic, we're going into the black market is what we're doing.
Yeah.
There's a memoir black market.
We're going into like databases. This is cybersecurity happening, right? It's like heists happening right in the midst of us.
First of all, a memoir black market sounds like the edgiest fiction project on Hallmark. Like I can't even the hotly dangerous memoir black market.
So stupid, I know.
I love that. I fucking love it.
For me and Julia, we're like, that's
a cartel run by Chelsea Devantez, basically. She's like the hidden one of like the 12 from Gotham. That's Chelsea running it.
Okay, so we're here. We are really here now.
I think, I need to hear your pitches.
Okay, let's say the memoir's coming, whatever. Like, yes, of course, that's an easy pitch. Whatever, like it's already in the works. It's not a part of my thing. But even if it is coming, what I want her to do is I want her to be in a Ryan Murphy production. And this could be a new show, but I almost want it to be either the cliffhanger end of the first season of this godforsaken Kim Kardashian show where she's a lawyer, or the beginning of season 2 of that show that obviously will be renewed because every single one of us will watch it, even if it is and just like that terrible, right? Like we're all tuning in for at least the first couple episodes. It's like first thing of season 2 is like a new lawyer enters the office. Whip around, it's Courtney Love. There has been no press. Like usually it's like he trods them out like on Deadline or Vanity Fair, Hollywood Reporter of like, here's all the people that are going to be in this Ryan Murphy show. I want it to be completely silent and it be like a complete surprise. And us all be like, Courtney Love, what? And then the internet explodes with the fact that she is on this new show. And then from there, it's like, we get the memoir. We then get the documentary that I'm sure she's selling along with the memoir a la Pam Anderson, where it's like a look back on, because that's what we've just done is a look back on how terribly she was treated, regardless of what she did wrong or right. She is due one of those as well. And I think that the springboard of it is a surprise, like recurring guest starring role on this whatever the fuck that show is with Kim and all those people that I love that don't deserve to be Glenn Close, that doesn't deserve to be in the proximity of a fucking loser like Kim Kardashian. And that is my pitch.
Courtney Michelle Love. As I feel with other people that we fix, I feel like you're one seminal role away from just re-entering the zeitgeist and I need a role that just sort of, it's not going to correct your legacy, but it's just going to sort of put it on track. I'm trying to decide right now. My brain's having a dev meeting.
Don't you dare
I am not casting her as Ghislaine Maxwell's mother in my forthcoming Jeffrey Epstein miniseries, starring Orlando Bloom and Jennifer Garner as Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
Thank God.
This is what I think she would go to. She might be a little old for this role, but she could definitely pull it off. And I'm trying to decide in my head now if it should be a movie or a Broadway show. I think Courtney Love on Broadway. Yeah, Courtney Love on Broadway is giving me goosebumps. I want Courtney Love to play the lead role, the Elizabeth Taylor role of Martha in a revival of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I want her to play it for like 6 months. And at the end of it, I bet the offers are going to come in for her to like work and tour and record. It will be the absolute, like Bette Midler and Hello Dolly. It will be the hottest ticket in town because there's a lot of parallels with her life and this character's life. Like there's a lot that she can pull from when it comes to kids or not having them. I mean, depending on how you want to interpret the work, but that's my pitch. Courtney Love on Broadway as Martha in Edward Albee's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I think that's it, right? Yes, that's it. That's it.
Julia's torn, I can see. She's holding her head. She's holding
I'm very torn because on the one hand, I would love to see Courtney Love eviscerate Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian could never handle Courtney Love with all her money. There's no way that amount of money. Courtney Love went toe to toe with Harvey Weinstein. She cannot, like Kim Kardashian cannot, right? Like, the pop culture fodder for that. But also, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with Courtney Love? That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible. That sounds like I'm getting on a plane and coming to New York and staying in your guest room, Chris, and forcing everybody I know on the Eastern Seaboard to come and see this show with me. This is hard. This is so hard.
We don't make it easy. We don't make it easy.
Okay, so I'm going selfishly here. I'm going to pick Dominick's because then that means I get to travel.
Buy that plane ticket. But
that's great because it's like, there will be press about it. We would talk about it. We'd be like, oh my God, we're going, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's that thing where it's like just enough where she's like dipping the toe.
Right.
It's like enough where it's like creating buzz and then it's like it gets it going and then it's like she does incredible and then it's like she has 9 offers.
Just like Bet and Hello Dolly. It's like the role she was born to play. She's not this actual person, but she's pretty fucking close that we'll still probably give her a Tony for playing half herself and half someone else.
Sure.
And the internet will be a little bit better too, because then you have people who are like, this is kind of exclusive. If you don't have a means to get here to see this, you're kind of SOL. So like, good luck. See if somebody posts about it a little bit on the internet, like little snapshots of like contraband recordings or whatever that they're not going to do anything about because it just means more buzz for the show.
No, literally. P.S. That's all that Broadway is now.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, literally, like, how are they filming this entire performance that I'm seeing on TikTok? Like, what's happening?
TikTok right now.
It's so hilarious. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
It's a great fix. Broadway's so hot right now. Like,
especially with someone like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then eventually she'll encounter Kim Kardashian and we'll get that fight because I still actually do want to
fuck him up just for no reason at all. Even just say you're a cunt.
Because Courtney's actually really smart, so she's going to eviscerate her by word, but then also like she could actually take her.
Yeah,
well, of course.
Like, hey, you big ass bitch. You know what I mean? Like just going into her.
Yeah.
Love it. Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Julia.
Beautiful, beautiful. This has been a whirlwind.
Always.
Julia, where can people find you? Where can they sign up for your candle subscription at Pros and Glow? Tell us everything that you're doing. You're like matchmaking people. Tell us everything.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram or TikTok, the Julia Washington. It's the same on both. I love TikTok. Take it out of my cold dead hands. And so Pros and Glow is my business. It's a literary inspired business, but also we just sort of lean into love. So I make candles, cards, stickers. Like, we love smut. We love a smutty book. So a lot of stuff is inspired by romance. I also host events. I host quiet reading parties. I host blind date with a book parties. But then I also host parties where you can have a meet cute in real life at a bookstore. Or you can pitch your friend to a room of single people. Yes, it's quite fun. But also I highly recommend people just like making a pitch deck about why their friend is amazing anyway, because it feels really good to like be
hype
told
up your friend. Yeah.
To hype up your friend. And then that's someone's vouched for that person, right? Like, they're clearly not a murderer. You don't know what you're going to find in online dating.
No, true.
That's the gist. It's well read, but with a vibe is what we are. And the book club candle that Chris brought up, every month we do a candle inspired by a book. And these scents are unique. And when I say inspired by the book, I literally mean I've read the book. I've taken everything from the book and then I create a scent that feels like the vibe of the book.
Incredible. Love it.
You can subscribe to that on my website. And it's actually a lot of fun because, again, they're exclusive. You can't really get them anywhere else. And it comes with a fun little book rec that you can either read or not. It's really up to you.
Or if you just need candles, they're just coming to your door. And they're different every time.
Handmade, soy-based. Everything is crafted with like clean products and limited runs. So nothing's mass produced. So you're not getting any of that harmful shit if that's important to you. It's
very important. It should be important to everyone.
Yeah, which is why I do it.
Amazing. Dominick, where can people find you?
My website's domentary.com, or you can find me at Dominick Pupa on Instagram or Domentary on TikTok. Christopher, where can the listeners of this podcast find you on the World Wide Web?
You can find me at the Chris DeRosa. You can find the show at Fixing Famous People, and you can find the Patreon at patreon.com/fixingfamouspeople. I wish you both well, and as always, where's Shelley? Goodbye.